Okay, so I'm just switching our view here to different mode to minimize everybody. So very good evening to all of you, and we hope your holidays are going to be pleasant and hopefully eventful in the best sort of way. This is our Christmas lecture at the Society for Theatre Research. And before we begin, I'd just like to remind you that in January, we will still be on Zoom. And our next lecture will be on Wednesday, the 12th of January at 7:30 p.m., moving to another part of Britain, and that is Noel Coward. Professor Russell Jackson will be discussing the importance of editing Noel. So you can book on our usual website, that's www.str.org.uk, www.str.org.uk. So our Christmas lecture is held in honor of Maggie Collins, in fact, who was my very able predecessor in putting these events together. And it is in order of honoring Maggie that we have a Christmas lecture, which is usually more performative in its nature. And tonight's lecture will be Windrush and Beyond, Voices of Black Britain. Now, the whole area of Black British literature in relation to Windrush is much, much larger than our rather short rehearsed reading can take into account. And in looking at Sam Selvon as one of the first writers about Windrush, along with George Lamming, the dominant narrative of Windrush generation writing has been about men's experience. And I think that the experience of women during Windrush, and also the women who have written about Windrush and its legacy, such as Donna Daly, Winston Pinnock, and many, many others, is actually best honored in another lecture, which might happen in the future. But in the meantime, for those of you who are interested in following up this beautiful and wide-ranging universe of Black British literature, there's currently a master's program running at Goldsmiths College, University of London. And this, you could get more information from the website here for the MA Black British Literature, which is run by Dr. Deidre Osborne there at Goldsmiths. She is herself, along with a number of other scholars, including, for example, Lynette Goddard, who's spoken for us before, and Mark Stein, Shushila Nasta, many, many others, has contributed to this landscape and to uncovering hidden gems, indeed. So this particular rehearsed reading wouldn't be possible without the help of Performance Preparation Academy, which is a drama school located in Guildford. And in particular, I'd like to thank Costa and Louise Pieri, Andrea Lode, and David Mitchell. And we have been fortunate enough to be able to have our event filmed on their premises. There'll be more at the end if you would like to know more about Performance Preparation Academy. So I'm going to start now with the event itself. The arrival of the Windrush Empire at Tilbury Docks on the 22nd of June, 1948, heralded a wave of migration from the West Indies, which would eventually bring 500,000 Commonwealth citizens to settle in Britain between 1948 and 1973. Those who had come as children arrived on their parents' passports, a common practice at the time. From 2014 onwards, many of the Windrush generation were deemed illegal immigrants, as the landing cards proving their right to remain had been destroyed by the Home Office. As a result, some were deported or placed in immigration detention. Many lost their jobs and livelihoods. Despite a government apology in 2018 and the creation of the Windrush Compensation Scheme in 2019, as of September 2021, only 25% of those eligible had received compensation. As Patrick Vernon, OBE, notes, as a country, we don't recognize the Windrush generation's contribution. Their art and politics had a major impact on the community. Windrush and Beyond, Voices of Black Britain, celebrates the lives and the stories of the Windrush generation, these pioneering men and women who helped shape the recovery of post-war Britain.
Behind you, Windrush child, palm trees wave goodbye.
Above you, Windrush child, seabirds asking why.
Around you, Windrush child, blue waters rolling by.
Beside you, Windrush child, your Windrush mum and dad.
Think of storytime yard and mango mornings, of new beginnings, doors closing and opening. Will things turn out all right?
At least the ship will arrive in midsummer's light. And you, Windrush child, think of grandmother telling you, don't forget to write. And with one last hug, walk good, and the sea's wheel carries on spinning. And from that place, England, you tell her in a letter of your Windrush adventure.
Stepping in a ship, not knowing how long the journey, or that you're stepping into history. Bringing your Caribbean eye to another horizon. Grandmother's words, your shining beacon. Learning how to fly your kite of dreams in an English sky. Windrush child, walking good, in a mind-opening meeting of snow and sun.
It was 1948 on the Windrush ship. 500 men from the Caribbean was on it, from warm Caribbean sand to this cold English land. We spent 28 days on the ship, and everyone felt real sick. Couldn't take the tossing of the Windrush ship. When we heard land ahoy, everyone packed up their one little grip. The ship docked at Tilbury. Everyone began to feel merry setting foot in the mother country. Looking round, it wasn't jolly, not what we imagined. The scene was drab and gloomy, with plenty of chimneys that looked like factories. And so we stepped on the hallowed British soil and looked forward to a future we dreamt would be better on this, our English adventure.
For many, the years were rough. In fact, it was rough and tough. Everywhere we went, what a spectacle. How we survived, God knows it was a miracle. Couldn't find any place to rest our head a little. For all of us, the future looked uncertain. No dogs, no Irish, no blacks, here in the mother country, Britain. Some started working all the hours God-given just to make a shilling. Many threw pardner, but life just got harder and harder. Started suffering racism in every corner. Some got charged for murdering, defending themselves against the attacker, whose weapons were bicycle chains, winkle picker, knuckle dusters. We still held on, and from the pardner we started to get our life in some order. We paid a deposit to the banker for our own little spot, and that was that. Things took a while to get better. Through many heartaches we had to suffer while they kept their stiff upper. This was just a chapter because 50 years we remember the good and the bad, the happy and the sad of life in the mother country. A quality we never had, the opportunities we didn't get. So now in our children, we have our hopes and our dreams. We, the pioneers, have laid a solid foundation in Britain through blood, sweat and tears, through the heat and the cold.
There's no street filled with gold. That was just a story we were told.
The gold is the jewel inside, developed through the suffering fires of time. So 50 years ago, or 50 more to come.
We remember the Empire Windrush when she first came.
The novelist and short story writer Samuel Selvon, also known as Sam Selvon, was born in San Fernando, Trinidad in 1923. As an Indian Trinidadian with a maternal Scottish grandfather, Selvon grew up in a multicultural society with a mixed colonial history. In 1950, Selvon left Trinidad for Britain, traveling by chance on the same boat as the Barbadian novelist George Lamming, and bickering with him over shared use of an old imperial typewriter. Selvon left the UK for Canada in 1978 and died in 1994 during a return trip to Trinidad. He is perhaps best known today as the author of The Lonely Londoners, 1956. It follows the stories of migrants from Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, and Nigeria, as Moses Oleta and his friends strive to make their lives in London. This groundbreaking novel established Selvon as an important voice in Caribbean literature. Eldorado West 1 is composed of 7 one-act plays, following the lives of Moses and other characters in The Lonely Londoners. Broadcast by the BBC in 1969, these plays are set in London in the 1950s, in the areas around Notting Hill, Bayswater, and the Portobello Road.
Hi, Moses. I didn't expect to meet you in Waterloo for our arrivals.
The next time will be my departure. Oh, please, God, the boat train late.
Who you meeting?
Some fella named Henry.
Boy, I expected my mother.
All you fellas really have guts, yes, told Roy. Where you going to put she? In that 2 before you have down on Harrow Road?
I have to look for a bigger place. You know any?
Look, one of your Jamaican countrymen over there waiting like a hawk for tenants. He have lots of houses in Brixton.
You know what the setup like? A chair, a table. He hitting you for anything for 3 to 5 guineas.
You tried down by Ladbroke Grove?
Yes.
Since they killed Kelso, English people been evacuating like Dunkirk from that area. You bound to get a room.
Down there between Grim.
What you want, Belgravia? Park Lane? Maybe? You could put you up at Dorchester till you find a place.
Excuse me, sir. We just arrived from Jamaica.
Yes?
I'm from the Echo. Could you tell me what conditions there are like?
Yeah, Moses, go on, tell it.
Well, the situation is desperate as usual. You know that big hurricane they had a few weeks ago?
Yes.
Well, I was in that hurricane. You could ask my friend here if you think I lie. I was sitting down in my mansion when suddenly I look up and see the sky. What do you think happened?
What?
Hurricane blew the roof clean off. Banana plantation laid down as if they're going to sleep.
Tell me, sir, why so many Jamaicans coming to England? It is about 13 years since the war. Do you think the streets are paved with gold?
I don't know about all of them, but sometimes in the night, I see as if the Bayswater Road sparkling with diamonds. But when you look in truth, you see it's only stones and gravel that mix up with the asphalt. You know if any London streets were paved with gold?
Thank you for your statement. I'll just talk to a few others.
Watch her, like she's going to tackle that family coming off the train.
Oh, Ross, that looked like me mother. And Tanti, and Lewis, and Agnes, and the two children. What the hell is going on in London town? Look, over at me, over here. What's all this? What Tanti doing here? Ma and Agnes and Lewis and the children?
All a week, I'm Tilbury. This is how it happened. When you write home saying you get £5 a week, Lewis say, oh God, I go into England tomorrow. Or Agnes say, she not staying home alone with the children. So all a week came.
And Tanti?
Oh, you know how old your Tanti getting. It's a shame to leave she all alone to dead in Kingston with nobody to look after she.
Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord.
It's all right. You're not going to kiss me? Your own Tanti?
Give him a chance, Tanti. He didn't expect all of you.
You see what I tell you. He's still ungrateful. I would go back to Kingston on a self-same train. He don't even remember when he used to live by me. I used to send him to school and give him tea and bake in the evening. He don't remember when I give him shoes to wear and pants to put on his backside.
You don't know who you put yourself in.
Right now, how do I come on you?
Look at trouble here. Woman hands best mind what you're doing. If you touch me, I call a policeman for you.
Keep quiet, Tanti. Can't you see him white?
Excuse me, I'm from the Echo. Is this a first trip to England?
Don't tell that woman nothing.
Why are you so prejudiced? The lady asked me a good question. Why shouldn't I answer? Yes, it's my first trip.
Have you any relatives here? Are you going to live in London?
Well, my nephew told Roy in this country a long time, and so sent the rest of the family to come and live with him. Not so, told Roy.
I'm going to help Lewis with the luggage.
Just one more question, madam. Can you tell me why so many people leaving Jamaica and coming to England? Isn't it a bit far from home at your age?
It's the same thing I say. I tell all of them who come in. Why are you leaving the country to go to England? Oh, we're so cold that only white people live there. But they say it's work in England and better pay.
You best stop talking, as tourists say.
What happened to you? You can't see this white lady from the newspaper come to meet me at the station. We have to show that we have good manners, you know.
I'd like to take a picture, if I may.
Hey, you see? She wants to take a photo. Where are all the children? Tara, Agnes, Lewis, all come to take a photo, children. The lady wants a snapshot.
They're busy with the luggage. One of you will be all right.
You can't take me alone. You have to take the whole family. Come on, children. We're lucky. We just landed up in England. A woman wants to take a photo. Fix my hat. Eloise, stretching your dress.
Are you ready now?
Just a minute. Agnes, stand up near Lewis and put the children stand in the front. Thank you, Ma. I bring this hat specially all the way.
Just hold it for a minute. Thank you. Ah, that's fine. I hope you don't find our weather too cold for you.
Come on in, get rid of the luggage. Don't bother with that lady.
Listen, you know that girl in the cafe, Daisy?
That wasn't a bad bun.
Well, have another. How about them sausage rolls? You'd like another?
I've already had two.
Well, another tea. You know her well.
Who? Daisy? Oh, sure.
She's not so bad, you know. I've been keeping an eye on her.
You interested?
Well, I wouldn't mind getting an introduction.
Hell, she knows all the factory workers. Ain't you ever spoken to her all this time you've been here?
Only for a couple, so I'm a bit shy with the girls, Bob.
You? Shy? Oh, come on, Galahad.
No, seriously. I want you to try and make a date for me. To take her to the pictures or something.
Your big mouth usually works.
Not with women. Can't she have another cup and a sandwich?
I don't trust you, Galahad. I don't want to be involved, innocent as it may seem.
I am a rusty man. I haven't taken out a girl since I came to London.
Too busy making a quick quid or two, eh?
I tell you what I'll do, Bob. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, right?
What do you mean?
Well, you always talking about how you like colored girls, not so?
So what?
So, you fix me up with Daisy, and I fix you up with a lovely thing from St. Lucia. She, not in the country long. She would love a white boyfriend, honest.
You just said that you can't get on with the birds.
That's the English ones, man. I mean, chicks from back home. I get them by the dozen. I could get you two if you want.
What's her name?
Everybody calls her Lucy. Yes.
You don't even know her name for sure.
I just told you a real smasher bar. She live off the Harrow Road. Yes. She would be just the one for you. What you say?
Suppose Daisy isn't interested in you.
Let's try now. I'll call her and order some more tea, and you talk. Miss, a minute, please.
Not more tea. Bob, you had 6 cups between you two already.
Yes, please, 2 more cups. Go on, man. Introduce me or something.
My friend Galahad is the thirsty one. You don't know him.
I've seen him around.
He says he likes you. Don't know why myself. Says he wants to take you for an evening on the town. You name it, Galahad can supply it. The Savoy, theatre shows, dancing in them soft lights in one of the more expensive spots. Ain't that right, Galahad?
Talks a lot, doesn't he?
Actions speak louder than words.
I like a man who does things. You really been to the Savoy? What, as a dishwasher?
Oh, well, when I get in there, somebody else will be washing my dishes.
Where's Moses this morning, Bob?
I'll be here in a minute. Gotta go, Galahad. You coming?
In a little while. You ever been in the Savoy?
That would be the day. Them sort of places aren't for the likes of me. You like it in the factory?
I got more ambition than that. I got some big deals in the fire.
Such as?
Well, how about Sunday evening? You doing anything?
Depends.
We can have a nice time. I'm not mean like some fellas.
I'm not promising nothing. Mind you, we'll see. Cafe opens Sunday too, but I could get some time off.
It was second-hand, Mrs. Joseph. It's hard to sell anything to West Indians when it's already used. They like to see things bright and shining with the packing paper still on it.
Don't hand me that. All the stuff they buy is second-hand. And that put you up could sleep 4 or 5 in a jam, even if they sleep sideways. You looked for a client with a small room?
The fella who buying it living in a room so small he talking to a shadow.
Very funny. Well, come on. How much you got for it?
Oh, I tell you, Mrs. Joseph, things as a whole ain't going so good for my people. They're getting laid off their jobs. They're getting less overtime. They have more expenses all around. I was lucky to get 6 quid off that Barbadian. Those Bayesians is the tightest immigrants when it comes to money.
Well, I had a man from Barbados in the shop yesterday, and I actually had to stop him from buying so he could have his bus fare home.
Come on. I haven't got all day to spend with you.
You didn't give me a chance to finish. That £6 is only a deposit.
That's better.
But we got to pay for the rest. Honestly, Mrs. Joseph, it looked like this Barbadian catching real hell. He ain't got no regular job. He got a wife and family to support.
I don't implore you to come to me with heartbreak stories. Save that for our clients. You're pretty good at it too, except when you try it out on me. I sometimes wonder if I didn't make a mistake taking you on. I mean, you haven't come up with any big ideas. I have something that's right up your alley.
It's all the expenses I got to see. If you could manage to let me have a £5 more, I would be able to spread. I can't manage on what I get. Without pound, shilling and pence, nobody listens to
Well, if
me.
you don't make them listen, I'll find someone who will.
I only want my position to be clear.
I'll make mine clear too. If you muck up this next job, you've had it. You know that Harrow Road? Lots of West Indians live there.
Like the back of my hand.
There's a property there I'm interested in. I've got all the tenants out, except a Jamaican family, who are just being stubborn. I've got a name somewhere on my desk. Yes, you know a man called Tolroy?
Tolroy. We used to work together. As a matter of fact, his family and me came on the country on the same train.
Well, the problem is, they don't want to move. I want them to move. You understand?
Move where? They got children there and 2 old women.
I'm not interested in the family history. I want that house completely vacant by the ending of the week. You understand?
Sure, I understand, but that's a big job, Mrs. Joseph.
You can't handle it?
What I mean to say is...
I noticed something about you, Galahad. You come in here, try your sales talk. Me? I've got you fixed with a car. I let you I put you on some jobs where you could make something on the side.
I wouldn't cheat you.
Don't deny it. I've let you get by with your little drips and travels. But this is a big job. I stand to make 500 quid on the sale of this place, once it's vacant. I don't care what you do or what you tell them.
Maybe...
Or maybe you'd better stick to second-hand furniture.
I can handle it.
Good! Get busy today. This is your chance to get into the big times, boy. Isn't that what you want?
You going to give me an increase?
This is a commission job. If you get them out, and the sooner the better for you, we talk about it.
But how much I could go up to?
What do you mean?
If I got to grease Tolroy hand in hand, pass them a little persuasion by way of a few quid.
Oh, don't make me laugh. You've got to do that. It'll be deducted from your commission. And another thing, I don't want no trouble. No business about rent tribunal or the Citizens Advice Bureau or anything of the sort. That's why I'm putting you on this job. And by God, if you muck it up, I'll have you wishing you were on the quickest banana boat back to Jamaica or wherever you come from.
Leave it to me, Mrs. Joseph. Already I got a plan in mind.
That's ticking, boy. I might consider putting you on a permanent basis. There's a lot we could do for these immigrants, if you're the right man. You've got a chance to prove yourself. I don't want to hear all the talk you've got. Give it to them.
In the historicizing of the Windrush migration, the predominance of early writers, such as Selvon and Lamming, put the spotlight on men's experience. Nonetheless, there has been an extraordinary range of women, both past and present, who reflect upon Windrush and its influence. Grace Nichols is a Guyanese poet and novelist. She moved to Britain in 1977, before which she worked as a teacher and journalist in Guyana. Her first collection, I Is a Long-Memoried Woman, won the Commonwealth Poetry Prize in 1983. Nichols' work includes Everybody Got a Gift, 2005, which includes both new and selected poems. Her collection, Startling the Flying Fish, 2006, contains poems telling the story of the Caribbean. Amongst her latest works are Picasso, I Want My Face Back, 2009, and I Have Crossed an Ocean, Selected Poems, 2010. Many of Nichols' poems feature social commentary, particularly with regard to women's issues and the current effects of immigration. In an interview with Morag Stiles for the Children's Book magazine in March 2005, Nichols comments on the way she delights in the craft of wordplay. I like the battle with the words and the language. You have to write for the ear and hear the music.
Morning, and an island man wakes up to the sound of blue surf. In his head, the steady breaking and whooming, wild seabirds and fishermen pushing out to sea. The sun surfacing defiantly from the east. Of his small emerald island, he always comes back, groggily, groggily. Comes back to the sound of grey metallic saws, to the surge of wheels, to the dull north circular roar, muffling, muffling. His crumpled pillow waves as island man heaves himself. Another London day.
What do you dream of, you old black men, sitting in your park benches, staunchly wrapped up in scarves and coats of silence? Eyes far away from the cold, grey and stressing pigeon, ashy fingers, trembling. Though it is said that the old hardly ever feel the cold. Do you ever dream revolutions you could have forged, or mourn some sunful woman you might have known? A hibiscus flower. Those memories of desire. Oh, it's easy to remember the past after all the letters from home spoke of hardships. And the sun was traded long ago.
Carol Phillips was born in St. Kitts in 1958 and came to Britain at the age of 4 months. He grew up in Leeds and studied English literature at Oxford University. Having taught and worked throughout the world as a poet, playwright, and novelist. He is currently Professor of English at Yale University. His plays include Strange Fruit, 1980, Where There Is Darkness, 1982, and The Shelter, 1983. He won the BBC Giles Cooper Award for Best Radio Play of the Year with The Wasted Years, 1984. He has written many dramas and documentaries for radio and television, including in 1996, the 3-hour film of his own novel, The Final Passage. His collection of essays, Color Me English, was published in 2011 and deals with recurrent themes of identity, home, and displacement. Phillips notes, a writer often wants to change a reader's perception about the world, which is a political act, but we have to work through character. So helping the reader to feel close to fictional characters is the gate through which we have to usher the reader. Where There Is Darkness looks at the plight of a West Indian man after 25 years of living in Britain. After a farewell party at his home, he faces the reality of what his time in Britain has meant to him, his family, and his friends. we find that the respectable family life that Albert Williams has projected to the world merely masks a more complicated and tragic past. As Albert's son Remy comes to terms with his father, the reality of these past 25 years comes into view. The title resonates with the opening lines of a prayer by St. Francis of Assisi, beginning, "Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love."
They're waiting, Albert, for you to see them out.
Waiting for me.
Yes.
I see. So it's me who comes fucking butler now. Well, I must thank you all for coming. It was really a very pleasant evening.
We enjoyed it, Albert. Really, we did.
Little dead and a bit reserved, but that's England for you.
Oh, what time were you actually going?
Well, my plane to freedom leaves at precisely 900 hours, Greenwich Mean Time. I soon gone for good.
We'll miss you.
Don't give me none of your nostalgia shit, man. I don't even pack me bags yet.
Well, we'd better leave you to it then. Good night and good luck, Albert. Really, good luck.
Good night, and thank you again.
Didn't hear you come back in. Have they gone?
Bastards. They make me sick. Where they been, huh? Where they been?
Who?
Who? How long have I been in this country?
About...
No fucking about it. Nearly 21 years now.
We'll turn the record off.
Leave it. Let me tell you.
Albert, it's about one...
I say let me tell you as you get for what? Nearly 21 years in this country, and only 8 people show up. Over 10 years in social work, and only 3 of the bastards managed to drag their ass around here. And my own son.
He sent a telegram, Albert.
I know he sent a telegram. I have it here in my pockets, okay? I know what the telegram is. We'll be late, but we'll make it. We'll be late, but we'll make it. What do you think, a quiz show or something?
I'll see to the record. Albert?
I hear you. What do you want me to do? Carry you in? Ah! Shit!
You're right.
A little bit of blood, never hurt nobody. Is my neck what they want?
Who, Albert?
Who, Albert? Man came in with nothing. Look at me now. House, car. This is the hottest night since I come here. All this time here, and they have to stay up on a tropical island for me one night. I probably get back here and find it snowing. World turned upside down.
Shall I carry on packing?
What do you say the woman called?
Sonia?
Name like that, the girl bound to be black. My son have a woman and he telling me we'll be late, but we'll make it. Him from a black man, alright? So fucking inefficient. You know, there's only 2 places a black man interested in turning up on time. A white woman's bedroom and the dinner table. You want a drink?
Brandy, please.
We have brandy? I've never seen them before.
At the back there?
How long you have this?
Ages, didn't you see?
Didn't you just hear me? I'm not stupid, man. I know what brandy looks like.
Sorry. You think we ought to turn off the lights?
What, since out here in the dark?
No, I thought maybe we could go into the dining room.
What the hell for? For one, it's a hot night out there. And for 2, I don't have no more fucking electricity bills to pay in this country. So tonight, I'm going to get my own back on the mouse. I never have bothered coming here. If I'd have realized that 3/4 of the money you work your backside off for got to pay out just to keep a bit of heat in your damn body.
It's not always cold.
You think I don't know that? I was making a generalization, alright? Sometimes I don't think you got the brains to be a housewife. Look, if you want to look like somebody put out a fire in your face with a size 10 boot, maybe you better go and do some more packing, whatever it is you're doing. Grass and soil. Trouble and toil in England. Sky and blue, neither are you in England. I make them up when I first come here. A traveller is a man of knowledge. Quiet. Even on a still night in England, you can hear the sea. Listen. Why is it that the sea always sounds so fucking guilty? Whispering like it knows something, but it's not gonna say nothing. It just keeps on whispering. Listen. You finished packing?
Nearly.
You better go to sleep now before you meet yourself getting up in the morning.
Are you sure?
Time in the morning to finish off.
Good night, Albert.
Back home, we have a saying. Quickest way out to the gutter, to the hills, is through London.
Albert, would you rather be on your own tonight?
Soon be morning. A new day.
Dear Albert, I've left Remy in a children's home. The address is on the back of the envelope. He's still young, so he'll never know anything about it. Or about me if you don't want. His future is up to you. I can't afford to take him back with me. It's not the money so much as the fact I am not strong enough. I love you still, but you have learned how to destroy. You is too good at destroying, and I have no confidence left when you are around. I tried to go out to church with Remy to pray, but the vicar just smiled and say, "Nice to see you, but don't come back." Back home, vicar is vocation, not job. But here, I see vicar going down the pub and it makes me want to cry. I knew England would be like this. But I couldn't tell my father even though I wanted to. Well, now he's dead, so I'm going home. I doubt if you will ever leave England, so I won't see you again because I'm not coming back. I hope you get what you want. Muriel.
Oh, you gave me a fright. I'm Sonia, Remy's girlfriend. I'm Ruth. I didn't know you'd arrived. I've just got here and you could visit the party. Remy's told me about you. Oh, I hope it wasn't too bad. Was the door open? Oh yes, I closed it in. Thank you. Albert, Remy's father, they've gone for a walk. Must have left it open. Sit down if you like, I'll get you a drink in a second. I think Remy's gone too. I don't think he'll be long. It's all over then. The party. No, this is father back home. You could say that. Well, it had to at some point. So you're becoming a West Indian? Yes, I suppose I am. Do you mind if I continue to pack? No. Plastic flowers. Somebody gave them to Albert. Most black people are brought up with plastic flowers all around them. I've seen them crochet coverlets and use sets of commemorative china, too much furniture, and cars with cushions in the back seats, heavy clumsy ice buckets with designs so tasteless that make you want to roll over and die. Eventually you learn to stop making excuses for what you are. Are you feeling alright? I feel sick. You might as well get some sleep if you feel sick. There's only me to talk to. You don't think I'm good enough to talk to? No, I thought I might be boring you. That's all. Would you like a drink now? No. Well, if you do want anything, just ask. I don't think Remy will be long. Why is he going back? Retirement. He's earned it. He's been under a lot of pressure recently. Successful black man in the community relations space. Fear. Is he frightened of something? I don't understand him. Why are you going? He's My husband, I love him, and I know, one day I'll discover, and on and on. Well, wouldn't you go if it was Remy? I'm not programmed by any man to do anything. I love in my head. I suppose it's what you get for being brought up in an orphanage. An over-keen sense of survival.
I see, I didn't know.
Got no choice really, have you?
Well, Albert's under a lot of pressure and you haven't been as...
Don't you have anybody else to talk to?
Sorry?
Hello? Did you see your father? He went out to look for you.
No. How long have you been here?
Not long.
What happened to you?
I'll finish this off later.
Sorry, but I had to stay.
What do you mean you had to stay? You could have at least come and told me you didn't want to come to the party.
I did want to come to the party, but
But what?
I couldn't. I went back to the orphanage and it was an effort to do so. I can tell you, but I needed the birth certificate, so up the steps and down the corridor and into the hall. Still stunk of disinfectant. Cold walls and floor, high ceilings, impenetrable doors. Down the corridor to the warden's office. Knock. Enter. I know that face. Sandra Jones. Sonia Jones. Jones. Birth certificate. What for? Marriage? 21 now, no questions. Just one thing, Jones. Your mother had a cousin here with her. She left a few things for you along with some of your parents' belongings. They're in a small suitcase. I'll fetch them. I thought my parents had died in a fire. Can't have been much left. Had to be a small suitcase, really. Here it is. Since this was going to be important, I sent you the telegram.
Why didn't you come and bring the case with you?
It was my parents' life. That's all I had left. I wanted to look at it on my own.
And what was there?
Normal stuff. Bits of tin, an old Bible, A to Z of London, a map of England, all photos of people I don't know, and a pile of newspaper cuttings.
So
I wanted to be with them. It's as close to my parents as I've ever been. Don't you understand that? Suddenly your father's party isn't as important.
But what about me? I waited for you. I missed the party. I worried myself sick.
I'm sorry, but I'm here now. Well, I can go again, maybe, if you want.
Of course I don't want you to go. It's just him.
Who?
My father.
What about him?
He isn't going to let us get married.
What do you mean he isn't going to let us get married? He can't stop us. For God's sake, we're over 21 now. What are you doing? Waiting for him to change your nappy or what?
I don't want to upset him at this stage.
Stage?
Just before he retires.
Runs off more like.
From what? He's got nothing to run from.
Some people like him always got something to run from. Usually themselves.
You can't say that about my father. You've never even met him.
Have you seen the look in that woman's face? She's shell-shocked. Looks like a survivor from World War II. I only need to look at her to see him.
He means well, you know? Why would he stay with her all this time? He's in a bad way. He's deliberately going right back to where he started. Not many people can do that. It must all seem like a bad dream to him.
And where did she get them bruises from? Fell over, hit her head on the side of a chair.
What bruises?
Try looking past the image of your father's halo and you'll see them next time.
He doesn't hit her.
How would you know? If you want to follow him lemming like that, then leave me out. He isn't going to let us get married.
Look, just been for a walk, been thinking, still want us to get married, you know that. Well, maybe he's right. Maybe in the long run, we need my degree. I'm sure he'll lend us the money to get by, till next year.
Did you ever think of changing your name to Faustus? Daddy's little boy. Anything for a bit of peace and quiet.
Don't call me boy.
Stop acting like one of you trying to please him.
I like to have a fucking life.
Well, you better take this. I got a return ticket, and I know my way back to the station.
Poet, lecturer, and children's writer John Agard was born in 1949 in what was then British Guyana. This Afro-Guyanese poet moved in 1977 to England. He first worked as a touring lecturer for the Commonwealth Institute, visiting 2,500 schools during his tenure. In 1988, he curated a Windrush season honoring Caribbean writers. Agard's output, both for adults and children, is phenomenal, and he is possibly one of the best known Black British poets to the younger generations. In 2012, in recognition of his work, he became the first poet to receive the Book Trust Lifetime Achievement Award. Agard enjoys performing poetry to an audience, often with Grace Nichols, a fellow poet. He says that he finds joy in performing and in reading a poem. He says, "I know this thing connects. This thing could touch a soul."
As citizen of the English tongue, I say, remember the ship in citizenship, for language is the baggage we bring.
A weight of words to ground and give us wing, as millennial waters beckon wide, and love's anchor waiting to be cast. Will the ghost of race become the albatross we shoot at our cost? I'm here to navigate, not flagellate, with a whip of the past. For is not each member of the human race a ship on two legs?
Charting life's tide will rise and fall, as the ship of the sun unloads its light, and the ship of the night its cargo of stars.
Again I say, remember the ship in citizenship, and diversity shall sound its trumpet outside the bigot's wall.
And citizenship shall be a call to kinship that knows no boundary of skin,
and the heart offer its wide harbours for Europe's new voyage to begin. What they really want at times is a specimen whose heart is in the dust. A mother of Sufra, trampled, oppressed, they want the little black blood and validation for the abused stereotype already in their heads. Or else they want a perfect song. I can say, I can write no poem big enough to hold the essence of a black woman, of a white woman, of a green woman. And there are black women, and black women like contrasting sky of rainbow spectrum.
Touch a black woman you mistake for a rock and feel her melting to fudge. Cradle a soft black woman and burn fingers as you trace revolution. And yes, we cut bush to clear paths for our children. And yes, we throw sprat to catch whale. Still, there ain't no easy belly category of a black woman or a white woman or a green woman. And there are black women strong and eloquent and focused. And there are black women who somehow always manage to end up frail victims.
And there are black women considered so dangerous in South Africa, they prison them away.
Maybe this poem is to say that I like to see we black women full of we selves walking, crushing out with each dancing step the twisted, self-negating history we've inherited.
Met him at Birmingham Station. Small yellow hair Englishman. Hi-fi stereo swinging in one hand. Walking in the rhythm to the reggae sound man. He was alive, he was full of jive. He said he had a lovely Jamaican wife. He said he couldn't remember the taste of the English food. I like me drops, me Johnny cakes, me peas and rice, me soup, man. He was alive, he was full of jive. He said he had a lovely Jamaican wife. Said show me a photo. Whenever we had a little quarrel, you know, to sweeten her up, I surprised her like a nice Mongol man. He was alive, he was full of jive. He had a lovely Jamaican wife.
Written in 2018 by poet and rapper Testament for Eclipse Theatre, Black Men Walking was produced at the Royal Court. The play is set in Yorkshire, where four men have a walking club through the Yorkshire moors and encounter Aisha, a young woman, as well as uncover the history of Black people in Britain. This section is from the Chorus of Ancestors and looks beyond the present situation to a hopeful Britain called home.
All of time is slipping into the same land.
The same rock.
The same rivers. Under the same stars.
Under the same disparate blackness woven through these writings.
Some of us thought that we would die here.
We
cannot turn back. We do not walk alone. We have seen centuries.
Now we walk.
In footsteps.
The unremembered blood of elders gathered in her veins.
Summoning the war cry of 1,000 heroes and heroines all at once.
We face our true selves. Each step we walk towards unity. Each step towards liberty. Each step turns the ground into home.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining us this evening. And I hope you enjoyed our rehearsed readings from various scenes and poems celebrating the Windrush generation and their achievements. I think we've got a few things up here on chat. Right. I think this was about as high on the volume as we could get. However, we have recorded this. If there's anything people would like to add or ask, please do so now. I'd like to thank you all very much for joining me tonight, and for the Society for Theatre Research. Thank you, and have a wonderful holiday season.